We're live.
Greetings,
All right.
everybody.
Welcome, everybody. This is our first Common Ground live stream event. We're here to give you some exciting news today. We're here to give you some background on Common Ground and Kiss the Ground. First Common Ground live stream event. We're here to give you some exciting
Greetings,
news
everybody.
today. We're here to welcome, everybody. This is our first Common Ground live stream event. We're here to
It's a loop.
give you some exciting news today. We're here to give you some
Greetings,
background on Common
We should turn
Ground
this
and
into
Kiss the
like
Ground.
a
Common
rap.
Ground live stream event. It does feel like we're actually making a loop, a rap.
Need to add some rhythm.
We should make some rhythm. Clearly, you and I don't have enough rhythm to do this. It does feel like we're
Are we live right now?
I think we might be live, and I
Oh
think
my
this
gosh.
might be looping
Hello.
around. You and I don't have enough rhythm to do this. It does feel like
I think if one of you has a window open, you may be recording the desktop video. So if you want to shut any open windows open, I think if one of you has a window,
Okay. Oh,
as you
that worked. Yay!
there it is.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, let's try it
Hello.
again.
Nice to see you all. That was a wild welcome. I'm Rebecca Tickell.
I'm Josh Tickell, and we're the directors of Kiss the Ground and Common Ground, two movies that we're very excited about that are coming out on April 22nd, Earth Day, to Prime Video globally. So you'll be able to watch this all over the world, these two films. And many of you have seen the first film. Oh, surprise guest. Look who we got.
Ian, you're known in our
What's up,
house.
guys?
What's up,
Hi.
Uncle Ian? It's Ian
Dude.
Somerhalder.
So good to see
I'm
you.
so happy to be on this. Sorry, I'm a minute late. I'm on a massive
Juice
whiskey
fast?
blending.
Oh,
So I've got I'm blending
Oh.
all this stuff right now. So we're spreading the good
are you
word, right?
are
We're
you on a
announcing
bourbon?
this.
Is that a bourbon cleanse? Is it a new Hollywood celebrity diet?
No, but I guess it could be. I guess we could work. No, listen, I am so keep going, Josh, keep going. I'm just so happy to be on here.
Well-
I cannot believe we're getting to tell everyone this right now.
Yeah,
Hi, sister.
we're excited to have you, Ian. Just to sort of take a step back. I mean, first of all, wow, Ian's here, so that's a big deal.
Yay. So
Um,
happy to have you join us, Ian. We love you so
So
much.
happy
You're
to
such
be
a part of this journey and process, and it's such a part of these films. We're so grateful to you for being our partners on these films. So, and I think we were just discussing it with you the other day. You were actually you filmed the first scene for Kiss the Ground. So how wonderful.
Unknowingly.
Right? We truly were on this. We were destined to make this film together. We both started making it independently of one another and found each other through this process again. And the footage in Kiss the Ground that you do with Alan Savory is truly such a powerful, I mean, that whole sequence of you walking with him in barefoot and Alan Savory, just the way that he educates and explains about, hooved herbivores. What is it that you say in the film?
Hooved herding herbivores. And he
Hooved.
was so cute. The first time he said, he has this great way about him. And he goes, say that 5 times. And so I did it because he forgot that, as an actor, or in what you all do as well, public speaking, you train your voice to really be sharp, right? Because you've got to relay a tremendous amount of information, typically very quickly. And so I said it to him 5 times, and he just kept walking. And he goes, not bad. And it was just like, that was this moment. I just fell in love with this man who effectively is like the grandfather of soil. I think one thing we should find, I have to give you this, everyone listening, Josh and Rebecca and this mighty team, they have spent literally their lives at this point and shaved off a lot of years of their lives, even though it's going to give so much life to the planet, making these films to bring to your household or your device or whatever it is. we get to change the world with this message, from Main Street to Wall Street. And with people like Alan, in 19, that picture of him. It's a really handsome, it's a magazine cover, and it's like Soil Digest or Agricultural Digest from the 70s. And it looks like the old Rolling Stone format, right? And it's this handsome 40-year-old Alan Savory, 1973, I think it was, with him and this big handful of black, amazing, carbon-rich soil. And it said Alan Savory, something like Alan Savory predicts the future, whatever. And he was looking at the numbers and following the data as to soil degradation over the course of time. And he knew by about the turn of the century, 2000, 2010, around there, we were going to see the exponential destruction, or what had happened as a result of that from the 70s up until the 2000s. And he called it almost to the year. And it just so happened that I was in Zimbabwe in 2011. That was like April of 2011. I was shooting that footage. So we have been, anyone listening, we have been collectively doing this together, independently of one another and then together. But these two people and this team have allowed us to bring this to the world. And it is going to go so big. And the big thing is, even if you don't care about agriculture, even if you just like chicken McNuggets from like a drive-through, I will tell you, this is going to affect all of us in the most positive way. And if anything, it's just going to give you a ray of hope, not a ray, like a gamma ray of hope, the biggest ray of hope you've ever had. And that's what's really special, right? That's what's really special. Whether you live in an apartment in Manhattan or you live in an industrial scale size farm in the Midwest, this is going to affect all of us in the most positive way. And that, I think, is what's so special. It's not just healing our soil and healing our health, but it's also building a $100 billion a year robust carbon capture food economy in the U.S., from what we put on our food at the table to eat, or even industrial scale agriculture. When we switch to an agricultural economy, of regenerative agricultural economy, we all win. And then we have to stop. We don't have to keep looking for outside money to invest in the United States. It's all just here. And that's for anyone in this orbit. Did I drop off for a second?
We missed you. We heard you, I think, the whole time. We just didn't see you. And now we're seeing you again.
Okay.
And for those of you who are just joining us right now, it's me and Josh Tickell and Rebecca Tickell. This is the amazing Ian Somerhalder, our phenomenal executive producer and on-screen activist, regenerative activist in our films Kiss the Ground and Common Ground. And this is our big announcement. This is something that we've worked for, honestly, for a decade. To be at this point right now, to be able to share with everyone that our big announcement is finally out on April 22nd, Earth Day. Kiss the Ground and Common Ground will be available worldwide for everyone to see. We have an education version of Kiss the Ground already available, along with a curriculum, as well as a forthcoming Common Ground Redux, which is an educational version of that as well. That will be free for everyone. Education is such an important part of this, because these movies really are tools for putting regeneration in place and for stabilizing our climate. And that's what these films show people, how we can do that, hope, that pathway forward. And so it is just so great to have you here with us, Ian, for this announcement, and to be able to finally, after a year of working on this, be able to share this with everyone. And we're racing to get ready, and there's so many exciting things that are about to happen. You want to talk a little bit
Rebecca,
about...
will you share with everyone really quickly, how many students, how many people did we give Kiss the Ground away to?
I believe it was like 50 million kids had access for free in schools to Kiss the Ground, to the educational version. And we also did a curriculum. It's our kids are getting to have that curriculum, and we aren't even having anything to do with it. Like, that's happening in our school system here, and it's happening all over the United States and all over the world. So there's this soil curriculum for kids that teaches them how soil literally will save us and will save their future through biosequestration. And it teaches young people about these solutions and helps put hope in place where there's currently been so much fear. around what's happening. So the educational part, along with the actual transition of acreage that these films have been producing, are, to me, like the most important part of this work, is actually seeing regeneration happening before our very eyes, becoming, this new economy where so many people are going to, farmers who've been having such a hard time. And my own farming family, I come from a legacy farming family, witnessing the struggles that farmers are having with this conventional system that is causing destruction on so many levels and all around the world. So, and we're just seeing how that, we were just traveling with the third film, the one that's coming after Kiss the Ground and Common Ground, called Groundswell, and seeing how this same destruction that we see here in the United States, that we really focus on in Common Ground, how that's happening on a global scale. And then also the solutions. And it all comes down to the same thing. It all comes down to the soil. And that's what the education is about. And that's what the work is about, is impacting how many acres we have in transition to regeneration.
Josh, how many, so when we launched Kiss the Ground, I remember that screening in Santa Barbara, Rebecca, that was so magical. But when we launched Kiss the Ground, Josh, how many acres of regenerative agriculture could we sort of account for here in the US versus where we are now?
The shift is massive. When we began, there were probably less than 250,000 acres of regenerative agriculture. Now there's 34 million acres. We're about to announce a much larger transition that's occurring. But, Ian and Rebecca, one of the things that I think we need to build for folks who are watching this at home is some context, right? People are tuning in. They're like, wait, Ian Somerhalder, Rebecca, Josh, what? They're talking about these films. Some people, believe it or not, haven't seen Kiss the Ground and Common Ground. I know it's shocking, but it's true. Some people have not seen these films. There are people in America and other countries who haven't seen them. They haven't seen them yet. They don't know. They haven't. So just for folks who are just tuning in and they're like, what is this about? Regeneration as a field, really the most simple terminology is that regeneration is about making things better. Specifically, it's about making ecosystems better. It's about rebuilding.
As opposed to just sustainability, right?
Sure, exactly. So, we had this concept for a while in the environmental movement. Let's have sustainability. It's a great concept. It's better than let's destroy everything and pave the planet. That's sustainability is a big leap, right? So that was a big mental kind of shift that we went as a movement through. But now when we look at the shift, we go, gosh, we've got so much carbon in the atmosphere. We've got a trillion tons of carbon in the atmosphere. We've got, the oceans are in a bad place. For the first time, the Amazon is a net emitter of carbon versus a sequesterer. So the planet as a whole is sending us signals that it needs more than just to be sustained at the current status. The current status is not good. We don't want to sustain it. We want to actually rebuild. We want to rebuild ecosystems on land and on water, and even the ecosystem that surrounds the planet, the hydrosphere and the water cycles that keep us all alive. So if you think about those three pieces of an ecosystem, right? Land, water, and the atmosphere, we actually want to make them better. We want to regenerate them. So we've made 2 films, and we're making a third, but we've made 2 films. Kiss the Ground was the first. Common Ground is the second. And these films, not to butter our own toast, but they are a sea change in terms of how we understand food, farming, agriculture, health, communities, and really, when it comes down to it, economy. Because the basis of wealth of our economies is ultimately not gold, not our ability to extract oil. It's actually our ability to grow food. Soil is the basis for that. So there's an argument to be made that by regenerating soil, we regenerate global economies. So that's what these films are about. That's sort of a little bit of context for, what are these guys talking about? We're talking about regeneration. We're talking about films And we're talking about a global movement. When Kiss the Ground came out, Google searches for regeneration or regenerative agriculture were among the maybe thousands. Now we're up to millions, tens of millions of searches a day. So that's a hockey stick in terms of interest. And we're seeing that hockey stick with companies that have put forward billions of dollars to try and figure out how to do this. Some companies you might think, well, those are kind of evil companies. They do bad things. Listen, I think that this is such a big, broad global movement that we need a large umbrella. And if we really, the environmental movement has said, well, we want to change the trajectory of how we interact with planet Earth. We're at an inflection point. We're at a point where unlikely players, governments, companies, people like you and me, people who may have an apartment, a balcony where they can grow a little bit of tomatoes or something, everything from the individual to the mega corporation is going, all right, we are at an inflection point. How do we change? And I don't think anything brought that home to those of us in Southern California more than the recent fires that hit Los Angeles. We know that Southern California is fire prone, but to see entire parts of the city just get wiped out, this is a climactic moment. And so if we walk back and we go, okay, how can we participate? How can we all participate in safeguarding a future for families, communities, neighborhoods, cities, states? Regeneration becomes the center point that we can all agree on. And that's why we call it common ground. This is common ground. It literally is, doesn't matter what your political background is, doesn't matter what your economic status is today, where you come from on Earth, we can all agree that the soil and regenerating that soil and the ecosystems that exist, that is our common ground. So that's a little background. I think, that's important for folks who are just tuning in, who are excited about this idea, who want to know what's happening. The movement has been coalescing for 10 years, and we want everyone who's watching to mark your calendar, April 22nd. We want you to watch the movies on Prime Video. The more people that watch, the bigger this movement gets. Every single stream of these movies is a vote for a regenerative future for our kids. So that's the call to action. We're burying the call to action in the middle before we even get down to the So that's just a little background for folks. Ian,
and also shout out to Amazon, because you were just saying how everyone can watch it on Prime. And that also speaks to what's happening in the movement right now. The fact that we have this incredible opportunity with Amazon Studios to be able to have these 3 movies about regeneration coming out to the world as like environmental documentary filmmakers. Josh, you and I have made like 20 films. This is a huge moment for this message, for these films to be able to have this kind of wide reach to the entire world, and that Amazon Studios is making that possible with us. It's like something it's just a huge breakthrough, and we're so happy to share that, because it's a way for these tools to be shared, and actually, like you're saying, that's how the movement grows. People watch the film, they share the film, more acres get regenerated, more people become clear about what the pathway is for how we can stabilize the climate. It's like, we've always said the same old thing. It's not a movie, it's a movement, but we couldn't be saying that with more emphasis than we are right now.
well, to Rebecca, to that point, it is a watershed moment. So you all know my dearest brother, Dr. Greg Stone, one of the most respected and loved marine scientists walking the planet, saw the film in total tears. He's one of the most respected scientists in the world. This was a watershed moment for the planet because he works in ocean science. But what he sees is the fact that as regenerative agriculture and these big carbon capture regenerative agricultural economies grow, right? The biosequestration of carbon not just makes the soil healthy, but it balances our climate, which changes the surface temperatures of the water, which changes the frequency and ferocity of storms, which is going to change the Gulf Stream and the jet stream. People don't realize, like, when the Gulf Stream changes, right? Or stops, it's the end of the world as we know it. And hotter surface temperatures prevent upwelling from the deep water, which brings all the nutrients in the cool water. And there are these massive cycles. And one of the things, if anyone just joining, what was so genius about what Rebecca and Josh have put together is, one of the other things is, we were just talking about the Amazon. Speaking of Amazon, the amazing Amazon rainforest, we're on the amazing Amazon Prime Video in the US, but the Amazon is now now a net emitter of carbon. But the reality is, so many people don't know, 40% of the water cycle in the world is called the small water cycle, right? It's transpiring of water through leaves and terrestrial, right? Not just oceans. And so that's what people don't realize. When we upset that and we deforest at such massive amounts, we don't have as much transpiration through building incredibly healthy fields of agriculture. We don't get that drawdown. And that drawdown is really important. This is the watershed moment for the planet. This is not just a bunch of people. We're not Hollywood. I mean, I love Hollywood, but I'm saying we're not Hollywood people trying to tell some Hollywood story. This is about soil and farmers and building communities. And one of the things that's been so unique about our message collectively is, once we shift to an agricultural economy that's a regenerative one, the positive cascade that comes from that is massive, right? So farmers can save up to about $400 an acre. Now, as we know, not every terrestrial, not every terroir is going to be input free. We understand that. But if farmers can save up to $400 an acre, and you're looking at hundreds of millions of acres, you're talking about tens and tens of billions of dollars. Now, when that goes into society and back into middle America, that's the reindustrialization of middle America. That means you. And so the positive cascade that happens is what? We all start making more money. We pay taxes. Those school districts get better. Those water districts get better. After school programs get implemented. Parks get better. Like communities just get better. And people can go down to the local Chevrolet dealership and buy new trucks, things that where the heat works, or people can go, farmers and people that work in the agricultural industry and around can take their families to dinner once a week, not once a month. Like, this is how we build our economies from the ground up while saving our planet. And once public health skyrockets from healthier food, what's going to happen to public health care costs? They're going to plummet precipitously. So then there's even more of that money in the system. So anyone who's just coming on to watch, you see how positive this cascade is. This is the most positive thing that we could show you. This is the most powerful thing. And so if there's any questions, please let us know for these amazing
folks watching on YouTube can drop questions in. And I think, Ian, what you said is so important. We often forget, because we get so excited about changing the land, because when you make these films, you see how deserts can get turned back into Amazon forest type forests.
Yeah.
What we forget is, for the average person watching, they're most concerned about their health and the health of their kids. And I think
the money that they have to provide for their families.
Exactly. I mean, you don't want to have to spend more to do this, obviously, but you don't have to. And I think that's a big point that gets made in the films. Kiss the Ground, Common Ground. We're talking about these two films coming out on Amazon Prime, April 22nd, Earth Day. Yes, it's a little early to begin to promote and talk about this, but this is a bigger conversation. We have a movement. It's not just about two movies. So we want you to join the movement. If you're watching this, we want you to sign up for the global watch party on the Common Ground website, commongroundfilm.org. Sign up for that global watch party. There's so many resources on that website, by the way. A lot of ebooks that we've written for people who are interested. One of the things we've really focused on with those ebooks is health and how to feed your family and what to cook and how to shop and how to do this. Because the number one question we get when folks watch the films is, what can I do? I want to do this. I want to feed my children this. I want to participate. I want my money to go to these farmers that are doing regenerative agriculture. So a lot of resources on the website. Highly encourage everybody to get to commongroundfilm.org. And then you can link to Kiss the Ground from there, the other film, and you can link to the 100 Million Acres Pledge. Each of those sites has a whole bunch of resources for you and your family. Free. Ebooks, links, like go there, sign up for the Global Watch Party, a couple free ebooks for you, and join the movement.
And this is coming from parents.
So exciting.
From parents to parents. We are all parents getting this to parents. You know, this is a love letter to our children, and it's a way, just like Josh mentioned, these are free resources that they created, that Josh and Rebecca and our mighty, tiny little team created for you to take the guesswork out of it. Because it's so difficult, right? What do I do? I'm working so hard. I've got to get the kids picked up and the soccer practice and dinner and this. And by the time the end of the night, you're exhausted. We have taken the guesswork out of it. So you can just grab it, digest it, go, literally, you know?
Literally digest it.
Literally. It's like a how-to, and it's really special, and it's coming from parents to parents. And that's what's really, I think, the thing that really gets people is like, oh, you're just like me. You're just trying to do this for you and your family. Yeah. And that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's why
so after you've signed up for the Global Watch Party at commongroundfilm.org, then you can also get involved in the movement by going over to 100millionacres.org and committing to taking some regenerative actions. There's so many things that you guys have already been talking about that people can do. We're trying to do them ourselves. We actually make our films. Kiss the Ground, Common Ground, all of the films that we've made are made here at Big Picture Ranch, which is our regenerative farm. It's a small farm. We're 5 acres, and we're experimenting and figuring out how to take care of our soil and raise our kids inside of what we consider a healthy, biodiverse, lush environment that's building climate resiliency here in our community, in our home. So everybody can get involved, no matter where you live, no matter what your situation is. We all have a role to play in that. And that's why we made these films, is to inspire people to figure out what your role is in this movement, because we all have a role to play here. It's an exciting moment in time. It's a scary moment in time, and it's an exciting moment in time because we are about to see the transformation of our food system, our health, and really like what it is to be alive, like how we relate to each other and to the earth. That's what regeneration is all about. We all flourish. We make things better, like you were talking about, Josh. So get involved. commongroundfilm.org, 100 million acres, commongroundfilm.org to register for the live stream. And then you can also find other theaters that are playing Common Ground as we speak. Actually, we haven't stopped playing Common Ground in theaters since October of 2023. So we're still playing in theaters all around the world. You can find out where you can watch it in a theater, and you can sign up for the Global Watch Party.
And the Global Watch Party, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, Ian, the Global Watch Party, we're going to have some very exciting guests. You don't want to miss that. That's. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be an incredible Q&A. I noticed that the live chat is not working today. It will be working. We're going to do one of these events each month. So next month we'll do another one. We're building up to this big Global Watch Party. We don't want to announce who's going to be on it yet, but wow.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be awesome.
You definitely don't want to miss it. We're going to have a blast. And honestly, I say this like as a call to action, we need you to participate because this is, like Josh mentioned, this is every viewing is a vote for the future. And it doesn't cost any of us anything. It's like Rebecca was saying, it builds this community. Like, Paul and I did Vampire Diaries for 8 years, right? And we were able to build an unbelievable whiskey brand as a result of it. And I've been able to build their absorption company as a result of it. But what I learned was, coming from the entertainment business place, shared experience bonds people. But bonds are the things that make the world go round, that really change. Whether it's the bond of a synapse firing your brain, or the bond of cells coming together to fight something bad or promote something good, whatever it is, just remember. And also, by the way, chemical bonds in nature. The entire world, whether you believe in string theory or quantum physics or whatever it is, but the base hard physical laws of the world is that bonds are everything. And so if that is any sort of connective tissue or tangible metaphor for how much we appreciate you even listening, being a part of the movement, but we need you to watch that with us, because I think it will create an unbreakable bond between you, the film, the movement, and the people that you connect with as a result of it. Because this is not a moment. This is a movement, and it is never going to stop. It's unbelievable. This is that watershed moment where we're on the precipice, I know of the single greatest change in human history, period, since the invention of like the wheel. Because right now, this isn't about us saving polar bears, right? This is about us saving our own asses and providing a future for our children. And not only just our children, we're all young enough, we're going to feel the effects of it starting now. We already are, right? It's impossible to get fire insurance in California almost. It's about to be almost impossible to get flood insurance or wind insurance on the coasts, right? The warmer surface temperatures because of climate change. And it's not just global warming, right? Yeah, the climate's getting warmer, but there's also areas are going to get colder, right? So this is just about climate change. So just remember, this is about all of us. Doesn't matter whether you're in an apartment in Manhattan or an estate somewhere, or on a large-scale industrial farm. This is about all of us together. So please watch with us. And we're going to do these every month. And we will definitely get the chat working. I apologize for that, everybody. But we want to hear from you. So go to commongroundfilm.org, sign up for the live Global Watch Party, and then just dive in. Like, we've spent our lives doing this. And these two people right here have brought it at scale. This is the watershed moment, and we are so fortunate to be doing it with you. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts for listening to this, but share this, please. Let's watch this thing together. Amazon Prime Video US right now, we are so thankful, and we can't believe we're a part of this family. And also, too, everyone, watching this together shows Prime Video that we mean business, that we are a force to be reckoned with, and this is the future.
Amen. You know? Let's get 100 million people to watch this film.
Yeah,
that would be some powerful bonds, right? That would really create a whole new version of reality for humanity. Yeah.
It's not even possible.
Share as much as you can with
share
loudly and widely as humanly possible. We are so grateful to be with you, to be on this journey with you, to be regenerating the planet together. We can do it.
We love you and appreciate you. Thank you for watching.
Thanks, everybody.
Josh, Rebecca, I love you guys.
I love you, Ian.
I'll talk to you another 27 times today anyway, but I love you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Global Watch Party, here we come.